Okay, I think I got it.
You got it?
Yeah.
Got everything set up on my end just in case if we needed to.
Okay, perfect. Thanks for being understanding, guys.
No problem. Hey, I fought for about 6 weeks last semester trying to figure this out.
Oh, you'd think that it would be like a little bit more simple, but
Well, and then halfway through the semester, they changed it. You used to be able to just do it straight through Hangouts
oh, really?
and record directly from Hangouts and then post it to YouTube, and then they switched it up.
Oh, man.
Okay, I'm here.
Huh. All right, so we're just missing Mong.
Yep. And I had been emailing with Shannon. She said she was going to join us
Oh, yeah,
tonight.
Shannon.
So I'm going to send her another quick email.
Okay.
See what's going on.
Yeah. So she wasn't there last week as well. That's what Tanner was saying.
Yeah, she wasn't.
Dang. So to invite, so I invited Mong to like get her to answer to my Gmail and just call her on the chat, or
Oh, she's calling me, or she's calling on a hang. She started a separate one now.
oh no.
Yeah, just send her an invitation really quick if you can, so
Okay.
she can click on it to join.
Yep. Let me do that.
That's what I had to do a couple times that first time to get us all set up.
Yeah.
And then we lost Tanner too, huh?
Yes, we did. I'll get both of them.
Well, if they open their Hangouts, there should be the group that you emailed it out. Let's see. Did you? You know what? It only came to me. That's. Oh no!
Really?
It did. It's got everybody on it.
Yeah, and I'm just inviting them again. So.
Yeah, they should just be able to open Google Hangouts and go straight to the open conversation that's there, and click on it instead of clicking on the old one that they're. I think that's what they're doing.
Ah, dang it. Okay, we got Tanner back.
Hey, I was gone, guys. I don't know what happened.
No worries.
I was talking to Mom.
Well, that's because she tried to start another off of the old Hangout.
Oh yeah. So I tried telling her. I said go to the invitation that Tyler sent you.
Yeah.
And so you had that call, you know. So then I said, told her to push to answer it, and I answered mine. I don't know. What happened to her.
So I've invited her like 3 times now.
As long as she jumps on one of those.
Yeah. Huh, well, yeah. So, did you guys talk about the doohickey at all last week?
No, it was just Tanner and I. So
okay,
we kind of figured we'd leave it for you this week.
Perfect. Hey, that's all right. I got this. No, it's good. Yeah, that'll be an interesting thing to talk about today. But
I went ahead and started basically a form to get it going.
Yeah.
In case.
Yeah, because I was wondering too how we want to go about kind of divvying that up, because I mean it's possible, but it's just kind of hard because one thing builds off of another.
Yeah, I can show you really quick. I think I can see if it'll lets me do it.
Let's see what's going on.
There we go. I can you can see I have one that I already started. I put some of the comments in it.
Yeah.
So it's just a really quick form for us to start jumping in and filling it out.
Right.
Oh,
If we, or make assignments, and I can email it out if we wanted to. And I wrote in my
that'd be great.
quick, problems, but I'm more than willing to let anybody else change them up.
Right. No, I like that a lot.
I think that's great, Grant.
So,
because if I remember correctly, we had to kind of choose 3 different problems. I mean, there's tons of problems that we could choose from, honestly, in that case study. And then there's like 4 solutions. And then don't you even have to build off of that as well? Oh, Mong, we got
God, finally. Sorry.
you.
hey, no problem.
Just ready to roll.
Just missing Shannon. I sent her an email, but I haven't heard anything back from her yet today.
Yeah. Well, okay. So sorry, Grant, to cut you off right there, but do you guys mind if we say a quick prayer and then get into the first case study, the sexual harassment one, with the Lone Star, and then we can devote the rest of our time to the doohickey?
Yep.
That
Sounds good.
All right. Mong, do you mind saying a prayer for us?
No, I know.
Okay.
I see that?
Yeah, is that okay?
No, I can see it. Why? Because I'm not a member, so I don't know exact the words.
Oh. Well, I could give the example this week then, and we can teach you throughout the semester, and then by the end of the semester, then maybe you could say a prayer.
Okay. I love
Deal?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll say it this week.
Okay.
Dear Heavenly Father, we are grateful for this day. We are grateful to meet as a group. We are grateful for the many blessings that Thou hast given us. We're grateful that we are able to attend BYU Idaho and for the education that we get. We are grateful for our families and our friends. Please bless us to have a good day and a good discussion. In the name of Jesus Christ, amen.
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 Cool. All right. Well, to kick things off, let's all learn this week from the case study of the Lone Star and from the reading for sexual harassment that you didn't already know maybe about sexual harassment.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I didn't really know all like the different from the note, the art, not the one about Lone Star, but the other one.
Yeah.
I didn't really know all that about sexual harassment and kind of the different laws and the different ways to kind of officiate or vary which one's which,
Right.
Between I think it's like the KDO and the other one, anyways. I can't remember the name of it right now.
Right. The just normal, the hostile work environment.
Just kind of the difference between those, and then just kind of the laws about them as it went on.
Yeah, it was very well put together, and it, unfortunately, if you're in any type of management, I guarantee you're going to run into a situation at some point where you're going to hear something or have something told to you that you're going to have to deal with. And
right.
I thought it was good the way they laid it out in the case studies there, so that you realize, that you have a responsibility.
Yeah. Mong, did you learn anything new from the case study or the reading?
Yeah, I've read a little bit.
Did you learn from it or anything that you care to share? Yeah.
I don't know. I can't remember anything that I want to share. If you go.
Okay. Yeah, so I thought it was interesting. Like Tanner was saying, I mean, I didn't know that much about it, and so pretty much everything I was reading was, was pretty interesting information. I thought it was interesting to get like the legal side of things and like what actions kind of have to take place, and I'm sure it's different, based on different situations. And thankfully, I haven't had to deal with any of that kind of stuff in any of the jobs that I've worked yet. But like Grant said, I mean, it's unfortunately, and you're gonna have to deal with it. And it's kind of an awkward situation, awkward topic, kind of, to have to deal with. I guess mostly if you make it that way, but I don't know. It's just like an uncomfortable situation. So,
something that happened this week is at work. I had a lady come and sit down and talk to me, and she was discussing the fact that she felt harassed just by some other coworkers and some of the actions that they were taking. It wasn't sexual harassment. It wasn't a harassment of, that was really out of line. But at the same time, I thought it was very interesting that her first comment was, well, don't say anything about it to anybody. And I'm sitting here going, well, wait a minute, you're not comfortable in your job because of the actions of somebody, then something needs to happen. And she's like, oh no, don't say anything because it might get worse. And it just fit right along with what you're reading about in this lesson.
Yeah. Those poor HR managers or people that have to deal with it.
Yep.
And I was gonna say about that Lone Star one, though. I think I think it was just the engineer or whatever that just kind of listened in on what was happening. He was kind of put in a different hard spot, because she's kind of the same way. She didn't want him to go around telling anybody or saying anything, but yet the lady that he talked to said that it could be a lot worse if he doesn't take action.
Right. So I guess the next question is, Julia Martinez's story constituted sexual harassment, or what's your guys' opinion on that?
I would say that it definitely did.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree. I think it was pretty no-brainer.
Simply by the fact that she felt it was a hostile, and she made that comment about it being a hostile work environment. And hostile doesn't have to mean a threat of physical violence or anything. Just the hostility of it and the emotional. It can be emotionally hostile also, and that's what she brought forward. So,
yeah. Do you guys think that it could be like the pro quid or quid pro quo and a hostile work environment, or do you think it was mostly
I bet it could have been both. Maybe a little bit of both.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say it was more just the hostility, because the manager wasn't really, blatant about, saying, hey, if you want to progress, you want to move up, you want to do those things. He just was a jerk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, he wasn't offering her anything in exchange.
Right.
Basically.
Like saying like, okay, you can move up if you do this, or if you keep quiet or stuff like that.
Yep.
Okay. And do you think like if time kept going on, then it could have gotten to that, or do you think that it probably would have always stayed a hostile work environment?
I would say the hostility of it was going to, drive her to leave one way or the other. Either she was going to try and transfer out of the area or do something else, take a different job assignment. So more of the hostility side of it than the other. But if it continued forward, then yeah, I think that other manager could probably get into that situation.
Yeah, because she even mentioned on the phone that it was her boss.
Yep.
That was.
Yeah.
So I mean, he obviously has leverage or ways that he could help make her move up, I guess.
Right. And did you guys think that Jack got the correct advice when he called? Who did he call? He called the. It wasn't the EEO, but it was the people that referred him to that.
Their legal counsel.
Legal counsel, that was what it was. Did you guys think that he got the correct advice from those guys, or should they have done something else?
I think they gave him the right advice. He has a legal, obligation to report it at that point, based on what he'd heard.
Yeah. Okay. And what do you guys think that the company could do? I guess Lone Star. What do you guys think Lone Star could do better to have a better sexual harassment policy in place?
I don't know. Maybe because I don't know exactly how it all works, but I mean, he said that, or she was saying that, like, he was, sexually harassing her in his office, from what I understood. So I mean, maybe if there was like a rule or something in the office that would prevent, if it's just a kind of like, on your mission or something, that if there's a guy and a girl that just leave the door open, or, just simple things like that, I think could help prevent it.
Yeah.
And if they have a legal counsel department, I would guess that they have very good organized, I just lost my train of thought, but very organized processes and everything else in place already. So I would bet that they have it. They may just need to do some refreshers on some training, maybe, bring it back to the forefront of people's mind and make sure that people are aware. So that it doesn't become an issue and further, but they do have to deal with it.
Yeah, it seems like you're saying, like, they have a good, system. It seems like kind of like on the back end. I would just think that they could do a little bit better of a job addressing it, so that the employees are aware, like a refresher, kind of like you were saying. Just because I think it's sad that, Julia Martinez didn't really feel comfortable coming out saying anything about it. But at the same time, I'm sure it would be hard for most people, kind of like you were saying, Grant, with somebody coming in to talk to you, but they didn't want you to say anything or anything like that. I think that's a common thing with come out, and say something. Yeah, victims, exactly. I mean, it's hard, even if you do have a lot of training, still, I don't know that the victims feel comfortable, telling anyone, or the people that are in charge.
Yep.
But let me read, in case you guys see this, what happened, what ended up happening. So let me do a screen share real quick.
Okay. Yep.
Screen.
Yep.
Okay. So it says, tell the group what actually happened in the Lone Star case. This is a real case, even though the company and individuals have been disguised. When Jack called corporate counsel, he forgot about caller ID. The lawyer used the information he gave her to figure out the people he was talking about. She contacted the Lone Star EEO, which launched a formal investigation. The EEO tried hard to get Martinez to cooperate. French denied all charges, claiming that Martinez had made up her story to protect herself from pending layoffs. DeCoste was asked for evidence, but he didn't have any. Julia Martinez's husband found out what was going on, beat up Julia, and forced her to quit. French survived the investigation with only a bruised reputation. He blamed everything on DeCoste for calling corporate counsel. There was so much animosity between DeCoste and French that DeCoste left the company after 3 months. So, a sad ending to the case. Lots of really bad and sad things happened, but so yeah, what do you guys think to that ending? Like, what could the sexual harassment policy, how could it be better? How could it be changed? Is that a just way to end it? Side of things, what do you guys think?
I think it becomes very tough when the victim doesn't want to, participate early in the situation. And because they're typically somebody that's under, they're further down, they're not in a leadership position or something like that, they tend to feel like somebody else is going to have an advantage over them.
Right. And
that the company is typically going to side with the manager before an employee. So, it makes it very tough. But again, DeCoste should have gone ahead and done the full report immediately. Like I said, once he knew he had a legal obligation to do it, and had he gone ahead and done that immediately, it would have definitely put him in a clear spot instead of being part of the investigation. He'd have been the trigger of the investigation. And then it wouldn't have just been he said, she said from the other side. It would have been, it probably would have been a little bit cleaner investigation and could have been handled better at that point. But it's never easy when you have to investigate those. No matter what, I've never seen a good outcome from them. Anytime you've blamed somebody or somebody's been blamed for sexual harassment, it always creates a very tough situation for those two people to get over it and move on, no matter what. Usually you're going to have to make some sort of a reassignment. If it's a small company, that's real tough. If it's a big company, it may be easier. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I also agree with you, Grant, but I just feel like it was just a no-win situation for anybody. For any of those guys that went through it, for DeCoste or for French or for Julia, that, all around, it just didn't end good at all.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a great way of putting it. It really was like a no-win situation. I don't think any of those guys came out winners and said, besides possibly French because he got away with that crap. But yeah, that's tough. It's tough from the legal side, like you were saying, Grant, because both of them didn't really come out in the way that they probably should have. So it's not like you can necessarily, blame. Well, you can blame them and fault them, but it's just a hard situation on their end, and it's kind of understandable possibly why they didn't do it, but they really should have if they would have wanted to, come out on top of that. But man, glad I don't have to deal with that stuff. I don't know. Are either of you guys going into HR?
I cover for HR at my job.
You do?
Yep.
Oh man. Well, my brother's getting his master's in human resource currently, and yeah,
good luck.
there's cool stuff about it, but there's also some tough situations.
I have gone through more boxes of Kleenex than I ever want to.
Oh, I'm sure. Oh man. Yeah.
In fact, I have a big sign in my office that says there's no crying in transit.
Oh no.
Still happens.
Man. Yeah. No, I could believe it. So yeah. I don't know. Anything else that you guys can think of about the case that you guys want to get off your chest?
I'm good.
Yep.
Feel good? All right. So, So I guess let's talk about the doohickey, because that's due Monday morning at 8.
So
Yep.
we're all just gonna make one big one, right? I mean, we're all gonna put it into our own work or whatever, but then you're gonna be the one that submits it, correct, Tyler?
Yeah, that's my understanding at least.
Okay, that's what I think.
Well, it doesn't have to be Tyler. It can be somebody else.
Yeah, just one person has to
In
submit
fact,
it.
I think it says it really shouldn't be the group leader, because you've got a paper you've got to write this week about being the group leader.
Right.
So,
is that
I'd be more than willing to put it together and format it up.
Okay.
I definitely don't have a problem with that.
Yeah, I'd be happy to, because I was even thinking about it. I was like, dang, so how are we going to do this? Just because it's such short notice, but I'd be happy to, you give me whatever part you want to give me, even if it's, 1/3 of the paper, because
it looks like three of us.
Yeah, 3 of us.
We obviously situation with, stuff, but you guys know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean,
so
if we want to do what Grant was showing us at the beginning, and just kind of split it up, and then Grant, I guess we can just send it back to you.
And I could work on it tonight and get it back to you tomorrow morning, so that you don't have to be scrambling on Sunday afternoon or Sunday night. Grant, did your screen freeze?
Grant.
Unless he's just in deep thought.
No.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna go out on a guess and say he's in Bros.
Dang it. Can't get through one of these things without problems.
Seriously though. But yeah, I mean, I think that's good, but Grant kind of has that format.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Just divide it up between the 3 of us or 4 of us or whatever. I don't know what happened to Mong.
I mean, it would be, it'd be great if Mong and Shannon
could help.
But it doesn't seem like.
I was gonna say Shannon. I haven't even met Shannon, or we haven't even met Shannon. And then Mong just kind of. I don't know what happened.
It would be hard. She's got, just learning English.
Yeah.
But
I didn't know she wasn't a member though.
I didn't either. Maybe that'll be a good way to, do some missionary work.
Oh, dude. Yeah, I saw you, dude. Let me give you the whole example.
The simple prayer and all that good stuff.
Yeah, dude. Just like the mission, man.
It goes my mission is good. Add him back.
Sorry, what's that?
What happened with Grant? I tried to invite him back, but.
Oh, did you? I was gonna say I don't know what happened.
But yeah, I feel this one. Hopefully, our next doohickey will be a little bit easier, but this one's gonna be tough because, like we were saying, it's due Monday morning at 8. So.
Yeah. Well, I feel like if we split it up and then can get it in by a certain time to help Grant, just finalize it or whatever, put it all together.
Right.
So he can
for sure. Not give a hassle. Huh. Well, let's see. See if I can get him back on here. No clue.
So are you sending him the invitation? He's just not accepting it right now? Or?
Yeah, I'm trying to send. I've sent it once or twice now.
I was gonna say, I wonder if it's like something with his thing or something happened with him.
Yeah. So there's, I don't know if you know this, but in Gmail,
yeah,
I'll get there'll be like little icons of people on the side.
Yeah.
And sometimes it says oh, this person's calling, and you can accept it that way.
Yeah.
That's from inviting them when we're on this Google Hangouts. Oh,
hey,
Grant Hanson joined. All right.
Sorry,
Oh, you're good.
I lost my internet connection at my house.
Oh no.
Oh.
Hey, no worries. We were just talking about how we can divvy it up between the three of us and to you as soon as possible so that you're not scrambling.
I will. I'll just email the deal I started, that page that I started and I showed you.
Yeah.
And if I can do that, I'll just email it out. And I think it'd be easiest if we each just picked a portion of it and answered the 4 questions. I mean, if you guys want to rewrite the what the issue is, that's fine.
Yeah, because there's 3
I'm fine with that.
Okay. Yeah, I think we were supposed to identify 3 problems, and then we were supposed to come up with 4 solutions. 4 solutions to that problem.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of just the way I really quick set it up, because I just was kind of charting it out real fast, and I pulled the headings from all of the chapters to say, okay, well, because it says only address the things that we've covered so far.
Right.
And so that's what I pulled from it, and just pulled those and said, okay, well, I'll just use those to chart it, and then say, okay, can I pick 3 things that I saw in it? I mean, because you can find all kinds, but
yeah,
I just picked the 3.
So do we want to decide who's going to take which one then, real quick, or?
We don't. Yeah, if you want to, let me.
Yeah, if you want to just assign us one, I think we'd both be fine.
I'm good with whatever one you give me.
Okay. Send it. Well, I'll tell you what. Here, let me just send it really fast. If you guys can get it and see it, then you guys can choose. I'll take number 3 since I have plenty of experience in harassment.
That's fine.
I got one.
What were your other 2, Grant?
The other 2 that I put on there is the company does not have any written procedures and documentation processes in place. And examples of that were the onboarding, training, complaints, performance issues, hiring practices, promotion, and other things. And then the second one I put is that there's very low morale, and the output of the factory could be a direct result of not having an appraisal system in place for employees to receive input from managers. They're acting out on their own and living within the conflict of an at-will mentality that is ruling the location.
Okay. Tanner, do you have a preference on one of the 2?
I don't, man. So if you want...
All right. I'll take the first one that he was saying.
Okay. And then I'll take the last one that you just mentioned.
Grant, do you happen to know the numbers on those 2?
Yeah, I just put 1, 2, 3, and then the solutions are 1, 2, 3, 4 is all I did on there. So
perfect. Okay.
So you're taking 3 then, Grant, and then Tyler, you'll take. Is it 1 then, and I'll take 2, or are you taking?
I believe so. Yeah, and I'll just double check that, and I'll email you right after this.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, the questions are on there, I guess. So we'll just read the
make sure that we.
Which
one? In fact, and I was the actual instructions for it, and the 4 different things that were discussed so far through through it so you can see. So there's kind of some things to look back. And then if you guys want to all send it back to me, I'll doctor it up, make it all look like one paper and submit it.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I have a problem with
is it 4 to 5 pages? Is that right?
I don't.
Is there? I can't remember.
I didn't read anything that said a page limit.
I was gonna say I didn't see anything with the page number on it either. I just saw the problem.
That might have been another class.
And discuss the problem and then just 4 solutions.
Yeah, it says each solution is supposed to be one paragraph, but it doesn't necessarily add anything to it. I will probably, send this to Ming and Shannon also.
Yeah.
And respond or give us any feedback. I kind of feel bad with Ming in the group. I think she's up against a lot.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it would be hard having English as your second language in a university, but
level. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, some of this stuff goes over my head, so I fluently speak English. So.
I'm more than willing to, just send it out and see if she wants to respond with anything, and I'll try and integrate it back in with what you guys provide too. That'd be fine.
Okay.
That'd be great.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Then I'll see.
Yeah, thanks again for doing that, Grant.
Because if if Shannon's not going to jump in, then as far as I'm concerned, not going to go well during the evaluation at the end of this week. But
no, well, I mean, I would assume that if she isn't joining in, then she's thinking of either dropping the class, or she already has. Or have you? You were saying that you emailed her.
Yeah, I went back and forth in emails with her at the beginning of this week, and she said she hadn't dropped the class, but she'd been in the hospital the week before. And I said, okay, hey, I'm sorry to hear that, but is there anything we can do to help? And, communicate with us, and we'll do whatever we can.
Right. Yeah, of course.
And then nothing. So I don't know.
Oh.
That's the part I always hate about groups and finding people that aren't participating.
Yeah.
Right. That's hard. Okay. Well,
did you guys get that?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't check here.
The email.
Oh, yep. I got it.
Okay.
Perfect.
And so maybe what I'll do is I'll email it out to the other two, and I'll tell them that you guys are covering 1 and 2, and I will see if they will give me any feedback on the third question, the harassment one.
Perfect. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then I'll work with them to integrate it, and then I'll put it together and try and have it back to you guys for, any last minute edits or whatever before I submit it. I'm traveling on Saturday and Sunday, but I will have access to computer and everything else, so I'll have it ready before Monday morning anyway.
Okay.
Like
I said, I'll try and get my part back to you hopefully within the next 12 to 24 hours. So
I don't think it should be really hard. You're talking 4 paragraphs to add to it, and I think we can get it done pretty quick. So, but I would like to get them the opportunity to at least submit if they will.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, quick question. Just each solution has to be a paragraph then?
Yeah, I think that's what it says up there in the. Let's see. It says in light of all the problems and solutions you identify. Let's see. Possible solutions. Yeah, for each of the 3 problems you just identified, brainstorm at least 4 possible solutions for the issue you identified. 12 solutions total. Write a paragraph describing each of your 12 solutions. Explain specifically what you would do and how you would do it. So.
Okay. Yeah.
And like I said, I put all that up at the top of the page too.
Yeah.
And if you guys decide you wanted to do something else, by all means change it up. I don't care.
Right.
I just was working on this the other night to kind of figure out how it would go and try and get a jump on it. So.
Yeah. No, I like it.
Yeah.
So don't want to run the show if I don't have to.
Hey, no, we appreciate it, especially for taking charge on this first one, Grant. So thanks.
So no problem. So yeah, I'll reach out to the other two tonight and see if I can get any response and try to get them to at least participate.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Hey, Grant, real quick before we head out, when I hit stop broadcast, then I'll just copy and paste a link and put it into the discussion board, correct?
Yeah. So once you're all done, you're going to hit the end, and then when you go, you'll finish up your YouTube, broadcast.
Yeah.
And stop it, and then it'll probably take 20 to 30 minutes where it says it's processing.
Okay.
And you can go out of YouTube and come back into it.
Yeah.
And sometimes I get it to process faster if I actually watch it.
Okay.
I'll hit play on it and start to see it for a little bit, make sure it's working.
Yeah.
And then after it's done, it'll show up in your queue of
in
videos there. Yep, in your channel. And then you just take that. You then just take the link that it gives you there. It'll show, and you can copy and paste that to share it. And then I just put that in the where I submitted the assignment at the end of the week for the team leader. I put in my paper there, and I posted in the link.
Perfect.
And in that discussion board, I posted it in there also so that it was available for people to see. Because I think in this class, the one that has the discussion board for each week for each group, I think there's a discussion board for each group. So
I think so. Yeah. I sometimes get my classes mixed up, but yeah.
I know. I'm trying to keep them straight too. So
yeah. Okay.
So, anyway,
perfect.
I just put it in there 2 or 3 different places, and then I didn't have any trouble with it.
Okay. So well, cool. Thanks a lot.
Okay.
Yep. No problem.
Thank you, guys.
Okay. We'll be in communication. See you guys.
Talk to you later.
Bye.